Welcome to the Power BI Quiz Show, this Christmas edition. And today the topic is aggregations, and with me I have Tristan. Hello, Tristan.
Hello, everyone. How are you?
Fine, thank you. And you?
I'm
And
fine,
thank you
thanks.
for joining in.
Really happy to be here with you
Yeah,
today.
it's been a long time since we have seen each other the last.
Yeah, unfortunately. Hopefully, we'll have the opportunity to see each other again in future in-person
I hope
events.
so. Very much. And today, you are on the show. Can you tell us a little about your background, Tristan?
Yes, so as you can hear from my accent, I am French. I am based in Paris, and I am a Microsoft Data Platform MVP, mainly for my Power BI contributions since 2017 now. I have my own company. We are doing consulting services and trainings around Power BI, the Power Platform, and Azure.
Yeah, and then you run a pretty big Power BI user group also.
Yes, which is named the Club Power BI. It's the French Power BI user group. We are almost reaching 4,000 members on Meetup, which is really great. We have a lot of subscribers too on our YouTube channel, our forum and stuff. So yeah, it's growing really fast, like Power BI, you know.
And today we are talking about aggregations. Why is that?
Well, I personally love aggregations. I use them a lot, and I wanted to choose this topic mainly because, I have one big fight in the data community. I want to make sure that people know Power BI is not just about data visualization. I want to show how powerful Power BI is to analyze and visualize huge amounts of data. And aggregations are definitely an interesting feature to achieve this. So,
I've been very much looking forward to this quiz today also because, I have been reading a lot of aggregations, but actually not been using them myself in a project. I think a lot of people have it that way, but I'm agreeing with you that it's really important feature. So yeah, and now I would like to ask you to help me pick the Raffle winner for the quiz from last week. So here we have all who participated last week. We can see here, Victor was the winner. We have 29 participants, and I've assigned them all a random index number. Power BI have done that for me. So I would like you to pick a number from 1 to 29.
I will pick 7, which was the number I used to have when I was playing basketball.
Let's have a look around 7. And it's Nicola. So Nicola, congratulations. You have actually won your own prize because the raffle prize is a 1 month for Pluralsight, and it was Nicola that provided me with the codes. So I think Nicolas shouldn't we just pick another winner because you probably have enough access to this site yourself. Yeah. So he said yes. Let's go forward with that. So not 7.
I'm gonna have to pick another number. Yeah. Well, let's put 17.
So it's Chris Haley. So congratulations to Chris on winning the Pluralsight 1 month access. So here I have here you see Pluralsight, and I have been making a search for all the different things you can find in here around Power BI, and you will get 1 month free access to this one. And so the prices for this week is the same as we always have for the winner, $100 a gift card to lego.com, and then this raffle prize that is 1 month free access to Pro site. And let's just have a look at here. If you are the winner, here I have been searching on lego.com to show you some of the things that you can go in and buy if you are the winner of the quiz tonight. So yeah, let's get onto the Kahoot introductions. So here, when we start the Kahoot, you will see the questions on your monitor, and then you can go to kahoot.it on your mobile device or a secondary screen, and then I will give you the pin code shortly, and then you can put in your nickname. It can be your full name or Twitter handle, and then please be aware that we have this 3 to 5 seconds delay, so you will have to wait for the questions, and that also means in the other end that you will have 3 to 5 seconds lesser than it tells you. And we will start with one question that is not awarded points, and then we have the 10 real questions that Tristan have been created for us around aggregations. And the faster you answer, the more points you get. And then also be aware that we post all the results public on powerbiquiz.com. So let's get started with the quiz. So now the pin code will come up shortly. And
Did you see on the chat that there are some people who are saying, I'm not here for the easy questions?
no, and that's also some of it. It can be very tricky, some of the questions in this quiz. So
Okay, apparently Alex is here for the easy questions.
And I see we have Benny back. Benny have been in a lot of quizzes, but I haven't seen him for the last 2.
Yeah, we need to pay attention now because there is Microsoft on this now, so we need to pay attention to what you're saying.
And actually, next week we have Rui Romano joining us in the quiz, and he has sent me the questions, and he has been a little if he can make the questions the one that he wanted to do, because now he's a Microsoft employee. So he has the opposite. Can he actually do the questions? Yeah. So we have 27 joined in now, and then I will start, and then we have the game pin on top. So if you haven't joined in, just don't panic. You can join in also later, and the first one is not awarded any points. So yeah, let's get started.
Let's go.
So the first one is just a poll. So what is your experience with aggregations in Power BI? You have 20 seconds to answer this one. And you can have non-experience with it and still win the quiz if you have read a lot of blogs and maybe seen Tristan on YouTube. So here we see that a lot of people have actually played with it. Somebody have implemented it in one solution, and some have implemented it in several solutions. So it's pretty even here around experience with aggregation. So yeah, let's get started with the first real question. So this is around licensing. You have 30 seconds for this one.
Yes. So for this first question, I wanted to know if you know what is the correct licensing. As you may know, there are 2 types of aggregations, user-defined and auto-aggs. And yeah, I wanted to know if you are at ease with this licensing.
So what will you see?
Yes, so the correct answer was the user-defined aggregations. They both work in Pro and Premium. Not so many people know it, but actually you can use Power BI user-defined aggregations in Power BI Pro. It is not a premium feature. And Auto Ags, which was released by Microsoft a few months ago, only work in Power BI Premium. Yeah. So that was the correct answer.
So let's see. And we have Victor, who won the quiz last week, as the one answering the quickest here.
Okay, so one thing to mention, from now, we will only talk about user-defined aggregations, okay? All the questions from now will be about user-defined aggregations. We won't talk about auto ags.
That's good to know. So let's have the next question.
So which platform allow you to build aggregations? Power BI, Azure Analysis Services, SQL Server Analysis Services?
So where can you deploy your model with aggregations?
Yeah, build and deploy.
No?
Not an easy one. So yes, the correct answer was Power BI. Currently, you cannot build and deploy aggregations using SQL Server Analysis Services or even Azure Analysis Services. This is probably why I use Power BI now to build my semantic models, even when there are big volumes of data. As of today, you can only do it with Power BI. Like you can only build your aggregations and deploy them using the Power BI semantic model. Yeah. Most of the people got the correct answer.
But it's important if you want to do, and this is also this Power BI as a superset of Azure Analysis Services. So this is one of the features you get on top of Azure Analysis Services. Yeah, let's see the leaderboard. Victor is still in the lead, but it's very, very close here at the top with Mark and Power BI and Amadeo and Benny Diego.
So Alex is saying a comment which is interesting. You can use DAX to get Ags-like functionality on SO platform. The answer is yes, but I was referring to the native, I would say, Ags feature in Power BI, right? Not some DAX tricks with if statements and so on, right?
But people are creative. Yeah.
Okay, let's go for the next one. What is the correct storage mode for your detailed tables? So as you may know, in Power BI Ags, you have different storage modes available.
Yeah.
Yes, direct query. So most of you get the correct answer. It is a constraint today. I would love Microsoft to release this feature and to allow the detailed tables to be, for example, in import mode. That would be awesome. And I think Microsoft announced publicly that they thought about it and maybe they were working on it. I don't know really where they are on this particular feature. As of today, your detailed tables have to be in direct query mode, right?
Yeah. So that is of today. And we have Mark on top, answering a little quicker than Victor on the last one here.
And Alex is saying that's why I use the DAX tricks in Power BI. Yes, if you want to use aggregations on top of import tables, you cannot use the native feature, which I'm talking about, but you can use some DAX tricks with if statements and is filtered and all that stuff. Yeah.
Let's see the next one. So this is dimension tables.
So it's the same question, but for dimensions, for your referentials.
And people are answering very, very quick on this one.
Yeah, the answers are really quick. Maybe, well, the first questions are pretty easy, but you will see that after it will get harder. Yes, most of you got the correct answer. So in a Power BI Ag model, your dimensions tables have to be in dual mode if you want this feature to work correctly, because depending on the grain of your query, your dimension will have to reach either the detailed tables or the aggregated tables, which have been pre-computed, right? So depending on the grain and depending on what you want to achieve, you will need these tables to be in dual mode, which means either import or direct query. Okay.
Yeah, and Mark says it depends if you have an unrelated dimension table.
Yeah.
So let's. Yeah, let's have the next one. But the correct storage mode in 99 or 90% is absolutely dual mode.
There are some creative people here in the chat, but yeah, you're right.
Let's see the next question. Oh yeah, and Mark is still on top. Victor and Power BI, Amedeo, or Nexus, but it's really, really close. So let's have the next one. And here you have double points.
So it's the same question, but for the aggregated tables. What is the correct storage mode for your aggregated tables? I'm looking forward to see the answers on this one.
Yeah.
And yes, as I expected, many people got it wrong. Technically, even though it's not really, I would say, smart or practical, but technically, your aggregated tables do not necessarily need to be in import mode. They can be in direct query mode, right? So that was a hard one. To be honest, in 99% of the Power BI Ag models I deploy, I always use the import mode for my aggregated tables. But technically, they don't necessarily need to be in import mode.
Yeah. So it was a tricky question.
Yeah, that was a tricky one.
So
yeah.
Technically, what you should do is import mode, but yeah.
Yeah, it's not because it's possible that you should do it, right? Keep in mind that import mode should be the storage mode by default that you use in any project. And if you use Power BI aggregations, make sure to store your aggregated tables in import mode, even though technically you can set them in direct query.
And you could also set it in dual mode, but why would you?
So Richie is asking, can we take the question of Richie So Richie is saying on the chat, but if your ag and detail tables are both direct query, don't we just have a direct query model rather than an ag model? Well, technically no, because the engine will still be able to recompute rebuild the SQL query and reach I would say the correct table. So I would say that no, technically it is an ag table, but you're losing the main advantage of aggregations if you put your aggregated tables in direct query mode.
Yeah, you will.
A direct query ag as a middle layer makes sense. Yeah, it could. I've never used it, but Yeah.
So only 2 people answered this one correctly in terms of Tristan's correctly. So let's see. It might have changed something, might not, depending on. No one here, at least in the top 5, was some of the 2 people answering it. The green answer. So yeah. So it didn't change anything in top, just to relax everyone. So let's have the next question.
So how many aggregated tables or aggregation tables your Power BI data model can have? 1, 3, 5, unlimited?
Let's see.
Yes. The answer is unlimited. Depending on your requirement, depending on the size of your imported tables, you may choose to store 1, 2, 3. I have built a Power BI Ag model for analyzing the New York taxi dataset, this famous dataset. And personally, I've made an analysis of how the raw data was distributed. And based on this analysis, I have personally chosen to build 3 aggregations, 3 aggregated tables where I store different grains. Okay, but depending on your requirements and depending on what you want to achieve, you may want to have 1 aggregated tables or 5 aggregated tables. It depends, right? But there is no restriction technically on how many. Well, maybe there is one which I don't know, but I don't know if there is a limit of imported table that you can have in a Power BI model. I don't know. Maybe there is a limit. I don't know if Microsoft can answer here. I don't know if we can, for example, import, I don't know, 100 million row of tables in import mode. Well, you would never do this, right? But technically, I don't know if there is a limit.
Yeah, if somebody finds the limit, and there is a limit, it is definitely higher than 5, but there could be a
Yes.
limit, and if anybody finds it, please put it out on Twitter and tag Tristan and the Power BI quiz on that one. So let's see the leaderboard. And we have Mark on top, but it's still very, very close here. So
Wow, it's
we
really
still have
close.
a
Yeah.
couple of questions left. So let's have the next one.
So relationships. That's not an easy one. So as you may know, you can use either group by aggregations models, or you can use aggregations based on the relationships that you have in your model. What kind of relationships? Not an easy one. Yes. This one was tough. The correct answer is regular relationships, which used to be called strong relationships by Microsoft and Marco Russo. So technically, limited relationship, for example, a many-to-many relationship. If you have a many-to-many relationship between your dimension table and your facts tables, you will see that the aggregations will never get hit. I have already tried it a few times. So yes, so there is a question of Richie who is saying, I thought direct query to import mode table relationships are rigged. The answer is yes, but in a Power BI Ag model, the dimensions are not in direct query mode. They are in dual mode, which means that when the cache gets hit and when you have the correct grain to reach the aggregation, the relationship is actually regular, right? you can make the test. If you try to aggregate a table with a many-to-many relationship, for example, which is a RIC relationship, a limited relationship, you will see that the aggregations will not get hit.
Oh.
Yeah.
So this is from your personal experience.
But the draw mode is not required as far as I know. Yeah, but in this scenario, you will not. Well, the aggregation will not. Well, technically, the aggregation will not be. You will not use the import mode, and it will not work. Yeah. Not sure I would agree that this makes the relationship strong. Well, I've had a debate with Christian Wade on this particular topic. I agree. I reckon that the term and the terminology for this question could be better, but technically, the correct answer was regular.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's see. Yeah.
But
yeah.
I can see that there is a debate on the chat.
Absolutely. That's good. So this changes something because now it was only Power Bila and Victor who answered this one correctly. But still we have 3 questions left. Rishi, I've been married for too long to understand weak relationships. Let's have the next question. True or false?
So, does this feature work with Analyze in Excel? I know that actually Mark asked this question to Microsoft on the MVP DL. Wow, I'm surprised by the answers. Of course it works. If you have an Excel pivot table connected to a Power BI semantic layer, it actually works. The aggregations get hit exactly in the same way as in Power BI desktop, for example. So yeah, you had to do this right, Mark. Yeah. I'm surprised. I would expect that more people would get the correct answer.
But it's nice to know that it's working in Analyze in Excel. So let's see.
Excel is just another client. Yeah, exactly, Donald. You still have to have measures. Yes, of course. Well, technically, if you forget about aggregations, I think that Microsoft made some improvements on the compatibility between MDX and DAX and the Vertipack engine. So technically, I think that now you can. I'm not talking about aggregations, right? I'm talking about a regular model, but I guess it would work with aggregations too. But anyway, technically, I think that now when you use the Analyze in Excel feature, you can use implicit measures in the values section. I've never tried it, but I'm pretty sure there was an announcement about this one. No,
I don't think so.
No, you don't think so? Okay, I've never tried it, but I thought that they were making the compatibility better. I don't know if it works now, but yeah. Yeah, Richie says that he's surprised that they managed to get that plumbing working. Yeah.
Let's have the second last question. Sweet.
That's not an easy one. You will have 1 minute for this one. How can you set up role level security, RLS, in a Power BI Ag model?
And both Donald and Amadeo, who is called Pinut here in the chat, is saying that they have seen the blog post you are referring to, also the announcement about Excel and implicit measures.
Yeah, I'm gonna try it again. Yeah. Okay, so the correct answer was the first one. The row level security expression should filter both the detailed table and the aggregated tables. If you don't do this, for example, if you put an expression which only filters either the detailed table or the aggregated tables, Microsoft will not let you do this. You might have some security leaks or some data which will be exposed to your end users or to the users who are querying the model, and it won't be allowed. So in the first version of Power BI aggregations, row level security was not supported by Microsoft. It didn't work at all. But now you have to put a filter both on the detail table and the aggregated table, which, as Mark says, if you put a filter on a table, for example, a dimension table, which is linked to both the detail table and the aggregated table, it works. It works indirectly, right? If you put a filter, for example, on a dual dimension table, it will work. Why? Because your dual dimension table both filters the detailed tables and the aggregated tables, right? So usually what I recommend in your Power BI Ag models is that you put your row level security expressions on your dimensions tables or on tables which are linked to your dimensions tables, because you will be sure that the security will propagate across the model correctly. If you try to put an errorless expression on just an aggregated table or just the fact the detailed table in direct query mode, it won't work. You will get an error.
Okay, so if you put it on a dimension that is only connected to one of them, then you will also get an error, or?
Yes, technically, I don't know. Yeah, it won't work. Technically, I think you will get an error saying that you're not allowed to see this data.
Yeah, it will make sense, because then there will be leeches. So let's see the leaderboard before the last question. So we have Power BI on top, but Victor is really close. It's only 9 points between them before the last one. So let's get ready for the last question. It's a matter of choosing the right answer quickly, but also rightly.
Yeah, this one can be very quick, so
let's see. Double points. Yeah, and people are answering quickly here.
Very fast, very fast. We can see that we have a really good audience tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Very experienced developers. Yes, the answer is DAX Studio. With DAX Studio, you can actually do two things. You can monitor your performance, and you can compare what is the actual query plan and what is the actual performance of each DAX query. And you can do another thing, which is really great. You can actually see whether AGs are hit or not. And when you have a Power BI AG model with several AGs tables, you can even see which AG table has been hit by the engine. So it's really practical, because sometimes you have some queries and you don't know whether the AGs got hit or not. And if it got hit, you want to know if the AG1 or the AG2, or you want to know which table has been hit. Well, with DAX Studio, you can do this. It works amazingly. It's native and it's perfect. I use it a lot.
Should we reveal the winner? So, here at the podium, on a third place, we have Mark. Congratulations, Mark. And on a second place, we have Victor. So, on the first place is Power Bila. So, congratulations, and Amadeo and Donald as the runner-up. So I believe it's Marcus that is behind Power Bila here. So congratulations to you to winning the quiz tonight. And yeah, thank you, Tristan, to take part of this Power BI quiz.
Thank you for inviting me. It was a great experience, really funny, really really entertaining, I think. And people, especially the developers, we always like challenges. We like
and
this,
people have been
so,
very very active in the chat tonight. Also, you have been really creating some debate on some of the questions, so that's also really nice. And thank you for everyone for coming in and joining the quiz. And tonight was our third out of 4 quizzes here in December. So the next week we have Rui Romano joining in, doing a quiz on Power BI tips and tricks. And then just a service reminder, I am always also doing a quiz on Wednesday morning in Central European time, at least, because it is on the Sydney Power BI user group where we have a Power BI quiz on Wednesday. So I welcome you all. If you're on European time, you have to go up early. If you're on US time, it will probably be in the middle of the night. And Australian or South Pacific time, it is in the afternoon. So yeah, please join in there if you can. Otherwise, hope to see you all on Sunday for the next quiz. And thank you one more time, Tristan, for being here. And
thank you.
Have a nice evening.
It was great.
Bye bye.
You too. Bye bye.